Hi everyone, welcome back to JP WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well as always, especially after that result of technically last night, because by the time I got in, it was well past midnight and into Friday morning. But here are my full-time thoughts on West Ham 4, Ghent or Gent 1. Let's start off by talking about the team sheet. In goal was Areola, as we always knew. Back four of Soufal, Aguerd, Zuma and Emerson. Rice and Souček in the defensive midfield positions, with Benrahma, Paquetá and Bowen supporting Antonio up front on his own once again. We started off playing pretty good football. We started off giving them a bit of an attack. It was good. We kept possession well. And then we started to just fuck it up again, slowly but surely. You know, we were keeping possession well, but yeah, it's just we were allowing Gent into it quite a fair bit. And, you know, on the 26th minute, Samosi, or I think it was Samoise, or however you pronounce it, runs in and puts Cypher's a great goal into it as a result of catastrophic mistakes from the midfield and defence from West Ham. To be fair, it really, really was. And Cyphers is one of the players I said in the preview that we need to keep an eye out for. He scores and we're 1-0 up in 26 minutes. Nervous. Very fucking nervous from there on. A little bit worried about Souček being in the side, but to his credit, for the first 10-15 minutes of that game, he touched the ball 10 times more than he did in the entire of the Arsenal performance, so can't really criticise him too much. But yeah, it was just, we slowly started building into it once again. You know, it was just like, right, okay, you could see there was panic for a little bit. There really genuinely was. But at the same point, we get a corner. Bowen takes the corner on the 36th and something minute. And Antonio scores it, and we're 1-1 at half-time. You can argue from a Ghent or Gent point of view that there were mistakes in that corner from their marking. I did say to my mates at half-time there's mistakes at both goals, and everybody seemed to agree with me. But yeah, and then literally, what was it? Second half rolls around in more ways than one, and a little bit nervy start once again. But we grew into it. Some good attacks. There was a clear handball. You could argue we could have had a penalty towards the end of the first half, but I think Antonio went down a little bit too easy for that. There's a couple of other opportunities, but I do think the referee was useless for a lot of that stuff. There was handball claims for a lot of the Gent performance, barring what we're just about to talk about, and then one of the first opportunities of handball, and Gent get a free kick in the second half as a result of it. But yeah, and this is what I'm saying: the handball was being reviewed because the handball happened around about the 52nd minute, I think it was. And if there's any Ghent fans watching, Ben, if you're watching this, please tell me what the hell that lights on the phone thing was on the 52nd, 53rd minute. It was hysterical. Really was weird. No, just genuinely out of the blue. If there's any other Ghent fans watching, let me know what that was all about. I'm genuinely interested in what's happened. What was that all about? But yeah, so we come in. There was a clear handball. We could see it from our end, and then VAR checks it for a couple of minutes, and then awards the penalty. Now, Benrahma was on the pitch and has been 100% record with taking penalties, but for some reason, Paquetá stepped up, and to his credit, it was well taken. Not the best of penalties we've ever seen, but it was well taken. He did well with it. He really genuinely did. You could argue the goalkeeper could have done better with it, but because I think he does actually get a hand on it, or at least a fingertip. But it's 2-1, and who cares, quite frankly. and the pressure alleviated a little bit. And then the random thing was we scored. We scored 3 goals in 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Technically 3 goals in 11 for when the handball actually happened. But yeah, it was superb. And this is for those critics out there that says that Declan Rice only passes backwards or sideways. Great run from him. Unbelievable run from a great ball from Paquetá to get the ball rolling to him. And a great run from Declan Rice. And boom, 3-1. Superb. Phenomenal. And again, 5 minutes later, 5 minutes later, just looking at the notes, because obviously we've seen a bit more information than we can at the game. Paquetá again with the ball to Antonio, and again relatively the same sort of run, and it's 4-1. Still worried, to be honest with you. Still worried. Just that whole West Ham mentality of we've seen this many times. Bowen, excuse me, Bowen did score, but it was ruled out for handball. And so the game remained 4-1. And then the substitutions were made. Forgive me if I don't get this order 100% right, but Downs for Rice. Fornals for Benrahma, if I remember correctly. Paquetá came off and Cornet came on in his stead. I know that it was positional changes and stuff, but and then what was it? KAA for Zuma, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check that from the things, but I think that was about right. Let me just have a look. Where are we? So yeah, KAA for Zuma, Downs for Rice, and Ings for Antonio on the 70th minute, and then Cornet for Bowen and Fornals for Benrahma on the 79th. So give or take, it's the same sort of thing, quite frankly. But yeah, so there's an argument you could say that the substitutions were made purely to make sure that these players were available for Bournemouth on Sunday. And you could also argue that the substitutions kind of slowed the pace down and took the impetus out of the win. But we were 4-1 up in the second leg, 5-2 on aggregate. And yeah, it was good. I was happy. It's like everybody was very happy with the end result. There's still improvements that we can make, to be honest with you, especially going into Bournemouth. But I can't really think of anybody that bar Benrahma that really had quite a bad game. I don't remember shouting at any individuals other than Benrahma's with these mistakes he was making. There's a couple of nervy things going on, but in general, I thought we played well as a team. As I say, it was a bit confusing, including for Rice when he came off to figure out who was going to be captain. It ended up being with Souček. It looked like he was going to give it to about 2 or 3 different players, and he realised that they were going to be subbed off soon as well. But yeah, it was. Yeah, there's still a lot to go, but we're into the semi-final for this in Europe for the second season on the row. Very, very happy with that, guys. As always, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking about the game. And yeah, the Bournemouth preview will be going up technically either later today or Saturday. I'm not 100% sure yet. It might go up late tonight. But either way, guys, you'll get the Bournemouth preview. The Patreons will get advanced viewing of this as always, an extended version of it as well. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a phenomenal weekend, and I hope to see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.